Hello, my name is Kendra Rice, and I live in Canada. I live in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Today's lesson is about how to say there is and there are. Why do we need to learn how to say there is and there are? Well, we can talk about our country. We can talk about our neighborhood. We can ask for directions. Excuse me, is there a bathroom around here? We can ask about an apartment. How many bedrooms are there? Are there any bathrooms? You can make conversation with friends. Are there any mountains where you're from? Are there any waterfalls where you live? And you can give warnings. Be careful, there's ice, Okay, so there is and there are. First, we will talk about our country, and our country is Canada. That's where we live. So for our warm-up today, we will listen to a song. This song is called This Land. What is land? Land is all of Canada, where you stand. That's the land. So in our song, you will hear about Bonavista. What is Bonavista? Bonavista is, one moment here, Bonavista is a town in Newfoundland. Bonavista is on the east coast of Canada. You will hear about Vancouver Island. Where is Vancouver Island? Vancouver Island is on the west coast of Canada. You will hear about the Arctic Circle. What is the Arctic Circle? It is the circle around the world where it is very, very cold and there is snow and ice. The Arctic Circle is in the north of Canada. You will hear about the Great Lakes. Great Lakes. Lake Huron, Lake Ontario, Lake Michigan, Lake Erie. These Great Lakes are in the south of Canada. So our land is from east to west, north to south. Let's listen together.
This land is your land, this land is my land, from Bonavista to the Vancouver Island, from the Arctic Circle to the Great Lake waters. This land was made for you and me. As I went walking that living of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from Bonavista to the Vancouver Island, from the Arctic Circle to the Great Lake water. This land was made for you and me. When the sun came shining and I was strolling, and the wheat fields waving and the dust cloud rolling, as the fog was lifting, my voice was chanting, saying, this land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from Bonavista to the Vancouver Island, from the Arctic Circle to the Great Lake water. This land was made for you and me. When the sun came shining and I was strolling, and the wheat fields waving and the dust clouds rolling, as the fog was lifting, my voice was chanting, saying, this land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from Bonavista to the Vancouver Island, from the Arctic Circle to the
All right. I hope you like that song. It is such a great song about how we
I can't believe it worked.
live together in this land of Canada. Okay, let's see if I can get it full screen. So from Bonavista to the Vancouver Island, from the Arctic Circle to the Great Lakes water. All right, there are lots of amazing things to see and do in this land. Okay, so I think you understand Canada has, right? Canada has 10 provinces and 3 territories. So instead of Canada has, we can say there are. There are 10 provinces and 3 territories in Canada. Canada has 10 provinces and 3 territories. Well, there are 10 provinces and 3 territories in Canada. Canada has tall mountains. Now, how do you say there are? There are tall mountains in Canada. Canada has deep valleys. How do you say there are? There are deep valleys in Canada. Canada has vast prairies. Vast means really big. Like I can't see anything, just prairies. Vast, huge, big. Vast prairies. There are vast prairies in Canada. Canada has many lakes. Many lakes. There are many lakes in Canada. Canada has large forests. There are large forests in Canada. Canada has large waterfalls. This waterfall is called Niagara Falls. There are large waterfalls in Canada. Waterfalls. Canada has many wild animals. We've got bear, we have geese, there are moose, there are squirrels, we have wolves, we have ravens, and there are fish. And there are many, many, many wild animals. There are many wild animals in Canada. But Canada does not have any deserts. There aren't any deserts in Canada. There's like small places where there is sand, but there are no large deserts in Canada. And Canada does not have any jungles. There aren't any jungles in Canada. There aren't any jungles in Canada. How about Saskatchewan? So Saskatchewan is my province where I live. Are there any mountains in Saskatchewan? No, there aren't any mountains in Saskatchewan. Are there any prairies in Saskatchewan? Yes, there are vast prairies in Saskatchewan. Are there any wild animals? Yes, there are many wild animals. We have deer and rabbits and moose and fish, many wild animals in Saskatchewan. Are there large waterfalls in Saskatchewan? No, there aren't any large waterfalls here. Nope, it's pretty flat. Here's a vocabulary review. This is a mountain, and there are mountains. What's this? There is a valley. There are valleys. There is a prairie. There are prairies. There is a jungle. There are jungles. But in Canada, there isn't a jungle. There aren't jungles. There is a lake. There are lakes. There is lakes? No, there are lakes. There is a forest. In North Saskatchewan, there are forests. South Saskatchewan, there aren't big forests. There is a waterfall. But in Saskatchewan, there aren't waterfalls. Notice you can't say there aren't a waterfall. No, there aren't any waterfalls. Is there a desert in Canada? No, there aren't any deserts in Canada. Grammar review. How do we say there is and there are? So the meaning is to say that something exists. It is here, or it doesn't exist. Okay, so we say there is plus singular noun, just one noun. There is a book on the desk. See the preposition on the, in the, between the? You understand. There are plus plural noun. There are books on the desk. There is plus uncountable noun. So uncountable noun is like milk or water. You do not say there is 2 milks. No. You say there's some milk, or there's some water, or there's lots of water in the fridge. To make it negative, we will say isn't, aren't. There isn't plus a single noun. There isn't a pen on the table. Aren't, plural. There aren't any pens here. A-N-Y says any. Nothing, any. There aren't any pens here. Isn't plus uncountable noun. Look, any pens, any juice. 2 pens, some water. There aren't any pens. There isn't any water. Okay, so we can't say there aren't any water or there aren't any milk. No, there isn't any water. There isn't any milk. Now to make a question, you just change. So there is, you change to is there. For a question, it's a yes or no question. You start with the verb is or are. There's a cat on the chair. Is there a cat on the chair? There are cats on the sofa. Are there cats on the sofa? Okay, so notice when you make a question, you have to change the verb and yeah. Okay, if you want to say how many, like how many lakes in Saskatchewan? How many lakes? You always make it plural. You can't say how many chicken or how many mountain. No, how many mountains, how many valleys, how many rivers are there? Remember, are there is question. How many students are there in your class? There are 15 students in my class. How many days are there in February? There are 28 or 29 days in February. Okay, how many lakes are in Saskatchewan? Oh, I don't know. I think there are 1,000 lakes in Saskatchewan. And the contractions, there's, there is, there's not, there is not, there isn't, there is not. There's not a mountain in Saskatchewan. There isn't a mountain in Saskatchewan. Okay, there's or there isn't. It's okay. And there aren't, there are not. There aren't any jungles in Canada. Next, please tell me about your country. So, for example, I will talk about my country. I am from Canada. In my country, there are many lakes. There are large mountains. There are wild animals. There aren't any deserts or jungles. I love my country. It is very beautiful. Love my country. It's very beautiful. So for you, can you please tell me about your country? You can take a notebook like this and you can write, I am from China. I am from Vietnam. I am from Saudi Arabia. I don't know. Where are you from? In my country, there are many monkeys. Do you have monkeys? I don't have monkeys in my country. There are large deserts. Okay, so write about your country. There is, there are, there aren't any, there isn't any. Okay, I love my country. I think you love your country. So write this in your notebook. And if you are my student at Regina Open Door, take a picture and send it to me on the WhatsApp or email, okay? So that's your homework. Tell me about your country. First, write. After that, speak, okay? You can record speaking about your country. All right, and that's the end of my lesson. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something new today. Take the quiz to test your knowledge. I have a quiz for you. When you open the link, you can see Canada landscapes there is and there are. What's your name? Kendra. Okay, put your name. What country are you from? Canada. Put your country. Then you look at a picture. What's this? Oh, and you answer a mountain, a valley, or a waterfall. Click. So there's 1 question, 2 questions, 3 questions, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 questions. And then these questions, are there mountains in your country? Not Canada, okay? Vietnam, Sri Lanka, Turkey, are there mountains in your country? Then you have to type, yes, there are, or no, there aren't, okay? Are there deserts in your country? Yes, no. Are there jungles in your country? And then this one, tell me about your country. I want to see 2 or 3 or 4 sentences, okay? Write many things about your country. There are, there aren't, there is, there isn't, okay? And now tell me about Canada. Here, there are mountains in Canada. There are valleys. There aren't any deserts. There aren't any jungles. Canada is beautiful. When you finish, you will click submit. Submit, okay? So you answer the questions, click submit, and there you have it. You finished the quiz. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you learned about landscape vocabulary like mountains and forests and lakes. And I hope you learned how to say there is and there are. And I hope you learned how to say, are there any? Is there any? Okay, thanks for coming. I hope you have a great day. Bye.